Here in Johannesburg, the ANC Youth League has new elected leaders for the first time in 8 years. Collen Malatji was elected unopposed as president. Phumzile Mgcina is the league's first female deputy president. Let's get the latest now from Moloko Moloto, who is at Luthuli House. Moloko, I understand that you're about to speak to the first elected ANC Youth League deputy president, female one that is. How does she feel about the fact that in the history of the ANC as a whole, whether it's the Youth League or the mother body, she is now the first deputy president?
That is correct, Masego Ratlaga. Indeed, Phumzile Mgcina is the first female to occupy this position of the African National Congress since its founding in 1944, and she joins me now to take this discussion forward. Ma'am, thank you so much for making time. The president said yesterday that you are making history, but maybe for those who may not know you, tell us your background, who you are, where you're from.
Thank you very much. My name is Phumzile Mgcina. I'm coming from KwaZulu-Natal, Newcastle. The region is Mbuso-Gubheka region, where I am leading there as deputy chairperson of the ANC. Also been working there in that region, in the local municipality of Amadlangeni. Also worked as a speaker at Amajuba district. So that's where I come from, and I've been leading in structures of young people in that region, and I lead the ANC eventually, but still within the age of ANC Youth League. But I've been leading the ANC Youth League for the longest time in the region. That's why I ended up being elected in the ANC of the region.
All right. We were talking earlier, and I was saying that the women have always been ready to lead in the ANC Youth League. I mean, some of them were there when the discussion to form the ANC Youth League were held. Aida Mntwana, who later was elected the first president of the ANC Women's League, as well as Lillian Goyi, who became the first elected NEC member of the ANC. They were in that meeting with the likes of Walter Sisulu and Nelson Mandela prior to the formation of the ANC Youth League in 1994. They were never given a chance to lead at the position of deputy or president of the Youth League. Am I speaking to the future president of the ANC Youth League here?
Unfortunately, I won't be able to come for second term, but I will try by all means to make sure that we get a female president of the ANC Youth League. Even if it's not me, but anyone who's leading the ANC right now, the ANC Youth League at the moment, we must prepare young women to be ready to lead the ANC Youth League as the president.
Yeah. Let's then talk about issues that were pronounced here by your president. He was clear that going forward, you guys are not going to allow anything less than 50% in terms of representation of young people in parliament. Surely those who are there are not going to let go that easily, the elders. Are you ready to butt heads?
Thank you very much. I think that one is very important, more especially for young people. Ours as ANC Youth League is to champion young people's interest. We are talking about the 50%, it's part of us implementing or championing their interest. So yes, we are prepared to debate and engage, especially the ANC people, because ANC leaders sometimes they see as if, as ANC Youth League, we are coming there to fight with them, but we'll present our point of view that why we say we want young people in that parliament, like 50% of young representation of young people in that parliament, because we know why we want them there. We want those interests to be championed by us. We don't want to collect the interest, then we submit, but we want to want to champion those interests by ourselves as young people.
But Phumzile, this is not the first time you make a similar demand. Prior to the local government elections, I think you also demanded that there must be, I think if I'm not wrong, 25% representativity in municipalities, but also in leadership, not only as councillors. Have you won that part? Because as much as you did not have a structure, elected structure of the ANC Youth League at the time, but members of the ANC Youth League are leading branches of the ANC. Did you win in that regard?
Yes, indeed. We raised that very sharply when we were approaching local government elections in 2021. And I can say that proudly that we won that, even though we didn't win it all over the country, but myself and other councillors or leadership that are below 35 did enjoy that privilege, and some of them are still leading in those municipalities. Even in my districts where I come from, I was #1 candidate as a mayor, but the things happened. But most of municipalities, young people are there and are occupying the space very well, and we are prepared to support them in all ways.
All right, lastly, Phumzile, and I will give this one to you as delegates of this recent conference. You managed to balance the issue of gender at the top 6. Half of you guys are females, and also out of the 40 elected NEC members, half of them, 20, are females. But there's always a temptation, because you guys at the top 6 level were elected unopposed. Those who tried and attempted could not even reach a threshold, and others realized that they would not reach the threshold and they withdrew. They did not accept nomination. There's always a temptation, some people would argue, for people who are elected unopposed to succumb to the big man syndrome, the big manism, the idea that we are big, we are invincible, and as a result, we might do as we wish. How are you going to navigate through that particular phenomenon?
As I was saying earlier, we appreciate delegates for believing in us, but that does not mean we're the only one who was the best. There were a lot of candidates who can lead young people, but one must appreciate delegates that they for believing in us. But secondly, what we said is this leadership, since we were elected, we need to go back to our basics. We need to go back to the ground. We need to go back to our provinces where we come from and try to revive those structures of young people. It's been 8 years whereby the ANC Youth League was absent, but it's our duty as young people to go there and revive those structures and mobilize those young people, encourage those young people. And even if it won't be easy, we know, but we are prepared to mobilize those young people to continue believing in ANC and also in 2024 to vote for ANC.
Phumzile Mgcina, thank you so much for your time. The newly elected Deputy President of the African National Congress Youth League, the first female to hold this position since the founding of the ANC Youth League in 1944. Marcelo?
All right, Moloko Moloto, live for us there at Luthuli House in Johannesburg. Thank you. Let's leave it there for now.